Well, a very good morning. Thanks for clicking on to the Wednesday edition of Logan's European Outlook. This is the current setup. We've got high pressure dominating the northern half of the British Isles, and low pressure has been the dominant player across the southern half, but it's now starting to pull away into the Low Countries and into the heart of Europe here. And in the wake of that area of low pressure, we've got a fairly fresh northeasterly wind coming in off the North Sea. So we're going to start to see the temperatures kind of slightly trim back. Yesterday we're seeing the highest temperatures over the western half of the British Isles. Both Glasgow and Carlisle hit 25 Celsius, but certainly down that east coast we're seeing some much fresher conditions because of that breeze coming in off the North Sea. Another cool day in Paris. I noticed here at Charles de Gaulle Airport, 18.3 Celsius. The normal temperature for the time of the year should be 23, 24 degrees. So, you're knocking 2 to 3 degrees, even 4 degrees off the average here for the time of the year. A bit warmer across central and southern Spain, as you can see, and still plenty of heat across the eastern portion of Europe here overall. So, and of course, precipitation has been pretty high this month across France, across the southern portion of the UK, where we've seen in excess of 200% of normal precip. But even get up into the Midlands, and we're well below normal. Actually, there's a pretty fine cutoff, really from about Birmingham southwards, where it's been very wet. But get yourself further and further north, and you've had only a quarter of the normal precipitation across the north of England and Scotland, across the Northern Ireland as well. But high pressure, like I say, has been the dominant player really across the northern half of the UK this month, and it looks as if it is going to continue over the next few days here. Lots of showers, lots of thunderstorms, some pretty wild weather, I think, across Central Europe, where you've got the push of somewhat milder air, or fresh air coming in from the Atlantic, but you've still got a lot of heat across the continent here. So, of course, when you bump this fresher, less humid air off the Atlantic into the hot continental air, you, of course, get severe weather. And that's, of course, what we've seen. The Czech Republic tornado, for example, was simply a clash of atmospheric air masses, and that's what you get in response to that, especially when you've got a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, a lot of energy to work with, and then of course you send the frontal system in, creates a spark, and bang, you get those severe thunderstorms developing here. So, like I say, we're going to see this area of low pressure start to pull away. We've got a window of somewhat calmer weather, especially across southern areas of the country, but with an east-northeasterly airflow, always trimming back 2 or 3 degrees off temperatures that are further west. So low 20s, perhaps even mid-20s, as we start to see the high become, for a time anyway, a little bit more established in between these two areas of low pressure. But this is the next weather maker for the UK here, and we'll see the response of this as we move forward here. It takes a little bit of time to get into the UK and Ireland, and the reason why bodily it takes quite a long time actually for it to reach the UK, and the reason why is because of the resistance to high pressure. But you notice here that as we start to send the energy in, you start to send a layer of cooler, fresher air at 5,000 feet over top of the warm, humid air underneath, and bang, it's like a saucepan coming to the boil. You start to get the energy forced upwards, and you get the showers and thunderstorms, and we're going to see that on an ongoing daily basis, I think. But the GFS, it's interesting how it actually sends the area of low pressure eventually. There's actually, I actually take that back. It's not this main feature here, but it's actually a secondary feature that runs the southern flank of this parent low that kind of comes underneath. And you notice here that it comes across the UK here. And then we kind of see the main system itself. It's almost like the front running system kind of opens the door for this feature to come in. And that looks like it's going to be the case. 4th, 5th, 6th of July, According to the GFS, the latest run, it looks as if we could have some fairly unstable weather. That's for sure, if this has any sort of merit to it. But it's going to take its sweet old time getting there, I think, because of the overall setup here. The GFS ensemble, upcoming 5 days, this is the 500 millibar height anomalies. A lot of strong high pressure to the north, if you notice here, but we've got this kind of alley of areas of low pressure running the same latitude as we've seen all month across a more southerly route. So we're going to see more unsettled weather, I think, especially across the Republic, England and Wales here. Always just that little bit better in terms of weather across the northern half of the British Isles here. You can see here for the 6 to 10 day period, we've got an area of low pressure almost over the British Isles here. And then as we go to the 11 to 15, it looks as if the high pressure, according to the model at least, starts to regain control, not just over the UK, but over Europe generally. Looking at the latest CFSV2 for the month of July, looks as if it's going to be a warm month according to this model for the UK, Ireland and much of Europe, in fact, with the exception perhaps of parts of Spain, Portugal, France and into the far southeastern half of Europe here. I think we're going to get more low pressure, I think, over the British Isles during the month of July. That's just personally my feeling at the moment. I could be wrong. There is models that are indicating that we have got quite a warm, dry July on the way, and that remains to be seen. I may be wrong with my feelings towards the July outlook here, but so far the June forecast has been playing out pretty nicely. In fact, we've had a very blocked type of June, not just across Europe, but across North America as well. And it's been interesting how we've seen these omega block setups taking place, not just across North America, but Europe, across the Atlantic. That has been the reason why we've seen such tremendous heat. It's hard to overemphasize just how remarkable the temperatures have been across northwestern parts of the United States, western Canada. Of course, Lytton in British Columbia had set a new Canadian all-time record 2 days running, and the temperature yesterday 121 degrees Fahrenheit in Canada, which puts this tiny little community in British Columbia in the Fraser Valley into an elite category of 120 degree readings plus. It's amazing how you see the congregation generally over the southwest desert region. There you have got a 121 that was recorded in Steele, North Dakota back in the 1930s, but to get that up into Canada is nothing short of incredible here. And you can make your own give your own reason towards why we've seen that kind of temperature, whether you think it's global warming or whether you think it's natural or not. It's still hard to imagine a temperature that warm that far north. But with the heat across the western half of North America, we've kind of seen that same setup, only opposite over Eastern Europe, where of course we've seen temperatures Kiev, Moscow, St. Petersburg, all temperatures reaching new June levels this month. So it's interesting how we've seen that. We've also seen the persistent somewhat cooler conditions, but much wetter across France, across the southern half of the British Isles. We've seen that across the southern plains as well. So it's all connected, and it's always just interesting to see how meteorology, can't even say the word, how it just all kind of connects and fits together. It's just always amazes me. So I think I've waffled on long enough here. Do check out marphoneweather.com. I will have the July outlook released, and if you like the video, please like and also subscribe to the channel as well. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now.